Hello and welcome back to people who watched the first video, and warm welcome to any of the new subscribers who have come. I guess I'll address that first. Glenn Calloway from the basement gave me a shout out, which was really cool. Very nice of him. Glenn's a great guy, makes some great videos. He's 990 subs right now, so almost at the 1,000. Was really cool to see, to get a shout out. That was very unexpected and very nice of Glenn to do. So if you're not subbed to him, go sub, but most people who are subbed to me now are. So but yeah, I thought for a second video it'd be cool to talk about a band that I love that not many people sort of talk about as much. Yeah, I mean, I could have just done a video on the Beatles or something like that more people would have been interested in, but I kind of wanted to put a spotlight on a band that I really love. As you will see from the title, they are The Replacements, and I'm going to be mainly talking about my favorite 3 albums of theirs, their most famous albums. They're sort of mid-80s punk, not really, doesn't really summarize them very well though, sort of alt-rock, power pop. There's some punk elements in the earlier albums that sort of get filtered out as you go on. I'd call them an alternative rock / power pop band. But I think they're really underrated, and I think Paul Westerberg is one of the great songwriters of all time. His lyrics are unbelievable. He writes such memorable hooks. The songs are so catchy. And I really do think that, anybody could get on with their stuff. And at the end of the video, I'll recommend some songs to get started with for their catalogue. But I guess I'll talk about the 3 albums I wanted to talk about. The first one is an album called Let It Be. Funnily, with the same name as one of the most famous albums ever made. This is only 32 minutes long. It's a very short album. It's one that I didn't love initially. I kind of gravitated more towards the next 2 albums because this has still got the sort of the punk flavor. Which, if you're not that into punk, I'd recommend you start with the 2 that come after this first, and then come back to this. Saying that, there's the song Androgynous, which is just a beautiful piano ballad about being androgynous and stuff, and it's sort of very ahead of its time in its subject matter. And there's also I Will Dare, which has got a sort of REM flavor, which I like. Peter Buck is on the track. Unsatisfied as well has got a great jangly riff. Senior Video is a really cool anthemic song. There's the cover Black Diamond, which is great. It's just great songs. Favorite Thing, Answering Machine is a great song, and I'm going to read some lyrics from each of these albums because I feel like that's something that you really need to focus on when you're listening to The Replacements. But yeah, I've got some lyrics up from Androgynous. I'll read you through the first verse. I'll put them on screen as I go. Here comes Dick, he's wearing a skirt. Here comes Jane, she's sporting a chain. Same hair, revolution, same build, evolution. Tomorrow, who's gonna fuss? I think that's just a great way of sort of putting it. It was just sort of like, it's why are people so bothered about what other people, who they want to be and how they want to act, and I think that was a real good message to be bringing out. Obviously, you had songs like Walk on the Wild Side and Candy Says that Lou Reed was writing in the late 60s and the early 70s, but I feel like this is a more sort of blatant social statement. I actually covered this song at one point on my music channel, and I think it's just a beautiful ballad. I think it's a song that anybody could like, and it's definitely one that I'll be talking about at the end as a recommendation. So yeah, the second of these 3 albums was released in 1985, so the next year, and it's the only one of the 3 I don't own, unfortunately. It's also my favorite. And it's called Tim. And it has also some, if I can just get the lyrics up again, it also has some amazing lyrics. It's really interesting album sonically. It's a lot more jazzy and chilled. There's another really great ballad which I will focus in on lyrically. called Here Comes a Regular, which I think is one of their greatest songs. Swingin' Party became famous after Lorde covered it, which was cool. Left of the Dial is a great power pop song. Bastards of Young, very sort of Clash-esque, I would say. But then again, like the acoustic songs like Here Comes a Regular and Waitress in the Sky, and it's just a great variety. Hold My Life is just a great rock and roll song, really. Uh, and I think that the Here Comes a Regular has probably got some of my favorite lyrics of all time. I'll read again the first verse. Well, a person can work up a mean, mean thirst after a hard day of nothing much at all. The summer's past, it's too late to cut the grass. There ain't much to rake anyway in the fall. I think that's just a great wording of that. The turn of phrase is brilliant. That there ain't much to rake anyway in the fall is like, it really speaks to me. You know, when you know there's something to be done, but you sort of tell yourself there isn't, and it's maybe not for you, because obviously there are loads of leaves to rake in the fall. I probably didn't need to explain that part, but yeah, I think Tim is their best album simply because it is so. I think there's one song I don't love, which is "Lay It Down, Clown," track 8, but everything else on there is just brilliant. You know, the punk energy, the acoustic stuff, the straight rock sort of early 70s throwbacks. I think there's just some amazing stuff on that album, and I think everybody would enjoy it. At least some tracks off it. I think if you're into your sort of folky Americana stuff, which I know a lot of people here are, Here Comes a Regular is an absolute must listen. And then finally, 1987, 2 years after Tim, Pleased to Meet Me was released. Pretty cool vinyl. Obviously, there's a lot of comparisons with them and Big Star. Of course, Alex Chilton is featured on a song, the lead singer of Big Star. He's featured on Can't Hardly Wait, and there's actually also a song called Alex Chilton, which is like this really cool. Obviously, Big Star were like this underground band, really not really appreciated in their time, but the song sort of catalogues made up scenario of if Big Star were like as big as the Beatles, and it's like Children by the Million sing of Alex Chilton, and it's like it's just brilliant how that was constructed, as if their like influences were as big as some of the other bands at the time. Skyway, another beautiful acoustic track. Can't Hardly Wait, it's just a brilliant 80s pop song. Nevermind, again, power pop gem. The Ledge sounds like The Cure. Nightclub Jitters is the jazziest thing they've ever done. There's a lot of Rolling Stones here as well. But yeah, you know, again, the lyrics are amazing. Like I pointed to Can't Hardly Wait as a pop song, and it is a love song, you know. The opening line, I'll write you a letter tomorrow, tonight I can't hold a pen. That's one of my favorite lyrics, professing love, you know. It's like this fear of saying the wrong thing, even when you're putting it down to paper. It's just genius lyrically for me. I don't really want to get into all of it because this could be an hour-long video just talking about these 3 albums. But you know, I think the third album has the most commercial sound. It's less rocking, it's more pop. But there's still some great guitar work, some great bass lines, great vocal hooks, lyrics, obviously. But yeah, so these were the albums that I own in my collection. Let It Be and Pleased to Meet Me, and also Tim, which comes between those 2 albums. And then for starting off, this is the bit you've been waiting for. The songs I would recommend to start off with this band, I would say Androgynous, I would say Swingin' Party, I would say Can't Hardly Wait, and I would say Here Comes a Regular. So if you want to listen to those songs and get back to me in the comments on what you think of those songs, and if you want to dive deeper into the band after hearing them, I'd recommend checking them out, focusing on the lyrics and all that good stuff. But yeah, glad to be making videos. Cool to talk about one of my all-time favorite bands who I think people don't talk about enough. I could do this with other bands as well. You know, obviously I love the Beatles and Bowie and all these classic artists, but I feel like sometimes it's more fun to talk about bands that maybe people don't know as much, and then bring people to hear some new music. So again, thank you to Glenn for the shout out, much appreciated. from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, hopefully I'll be back in a couple days with another video. I'll try and record some over the next couple days and then sort of release them sporadically over the next week. But yeah, it's been fun, and hope to see you soon.